First, 2016 was likely a record year for business travel. Vanessa Yurkovich has more on this week's CNN Money Away.
Dallas is known as the convention city. 4 million people travel here for business every year, including me. But on this business trip, I'm determined not to leave without a true Texas experience. I'm Vanessa Yurkovich.
And I'm Chris Moody. We travel a ton for work, and so do you.
But you can still get in a bit of adventure before you have to hop back on that plane. Before I check out, here's a quick tip. Hotel status means bigger perks, and you can get there quicker by doing a hotel status challenge. Get to gold or platinum by staying a set amount of nights in just a couple of weeks or months instead of a year. Now, with the little time I have left, this city slicker is going to be a Texas cowgirl for the day. I'm herding cattle, y'all. I found Beaumont Ranch just an hour outside the city. Spencer Allen is taking me on a 2-hour Longhorn cattle drive.
I have taken out some, different executives from companies that, be riding behind us on the phone the whole time.
They're taking business calls on the phone while they're moving the cattle down the road. At least they're, sort of getting out here.
Right. They're out in the country and getting to experience a little bit of Texas.
What's the most important thing about cattle ranching when you're moving cattle?
What I watch out for is I don't let the cows get behind me.
Yeah.
I don't want them to run by and scare the horse. And, the other big thing, is you don't want to get between a mama and a baby.
They don't have this in New York.
Right, yeah. Any of the big cities, most of them don't have anything like this anywhere close by. So it's a pretty unique thing to, Texas.
In life, you have choices to make. The biggest choice is how we spend our time and who we spend our time with. And what we do is we choose to go to places that have a need for baseball. If you saw Guadalupe, you'd be like, oh, there's farms there, there's tractors, there's people picking berries. But then you go and you get to know the kids and the teachers of the school, and you're like, wow, this is real America.
We can have all the fun we want as long as we do the what?
It's its own little town that sits against the Pacific with its back to the world. There's not a lot of things for the kids to do here in the community. Baseball in Guadalupe used to be really big back in the day, but it's kind of fallen by the wayside.
There's a backstop, there were dugouts. It just looked like it hadn't been maintained in over a dozen years. We're building a baseball field for Kermit McKenzie Junior High School. We founded More Than a Game 2010. We've been all over the world. We have the programs in the Dominican Republic, Colombia, Panama. We've even been to the continent of Africa and Cameroon. I travel for work 2 weeks out of the month. For this project Guadalupe, I knew that we would have a lot of material and tools that we had to move around. What about this one? It's important to have different choices when you're on the road. It's very similar to what we do. It's a relationship. Grab whatever car you want. Before we started this project, we went around to let people know what we're doing. We randomly stopped by this farm. We met the supervisor there, and he was like, wow, this is so great. The community needs this. But unfortunately, everyone here works, so they don't have the free time to build a baseball field.
You guys ready for some fun?
We're 100% Hispanic population here. Being a Mexican male, I feel I'm a role model for these students. I played baseball until I was about 20 years old. That's something that I've always been attached to. I live and breathe it still.
Shoeless Joe Jackson, make the play, kid.
It's really good for the community to see that they're willing to put in the sweat equity, that they're here to do business and they really mean what they say for the kids.
Yeah! From the outside, you can see this is like just a drive-by city. But actually investing your time and getting to know people, you can tell that there's no place they would rather be than here.
All right, welcome back.